All right, so Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I'll start off by saying Barak Thumb, Yahweh Bashin Yahweh Shai. I'd like to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole elect, starting with the 144,000 Shalom. All right, so we'll title this one The True Fall of the Fourth Beast, you know, and Lord willing, right? Lord willing, through the Spirit, is me and brother be trying to do breakdowns of chapters when we do sit downs, and Lord willing, we're going to Ezekiel 38, which you see that time, that prophecy, coming fast. You see it. We at that time. But Lord willing, right? I'm gonna play a video. Lord willing, you can hear it. It's Ed Apostle Romla, as I'm watching this finish the lesson of him breaking down Daniel chapter 7, through the Spirit. This hit me in the Spirit. I want to go into it, right? Because it's edifying, and it shows you how, for one, we're still in that time with that fourth beast, the revival empire, and two, the true fall of it is going to be that fire and destruction. With Lord willing, we're going to bring out a few scriptures around it. Lord willing, all right, we'll flow through the Spirit, see how it goes, right? So we'll play this, and we'll get into it.
Kingdom also, as we're joint heirs with the Lord. All kindreds of the earth shall well because of him, even so be true. So we're coming up to the point now where the fourth beast is about to be destroyed and fall. It's going to be taken out by fire. That's that lake of fire. And then the kingdom of Yahweh Shai will be established, which would be our kingdom also, as we're joint heirs with the Lord. So that's why when the fourth beast fell, when the fourth beast fell, back then the end didn't come, because there was still more. It was still more to the vision. All right. So now, going on, it says, and
all right. So, Lord willing, right? So, as you can see, we're going to the like I said, we'll title this lesson, the final fall of this fourth beast, right? Because that hit me in the Spirit. Elder Apostle Romla, he quoted that, understanding why when Rome fell, right? When Rome fell, right? When Rome fell, right, and they went into that 1,000 years that was down. We'll touch that real fast, right? Revelation 20, we'll read verse 1 and 2, or actually we'll read verses 1 through 3, right? It says, "And I saw an angel come down from heaven, Yahweh Shai, having the key of the bottomless pit going to Europe, and the great chain in his hand. And great chain is those seals." Ultimately you can say it's us as well, because we, Lord willing, Jake came into rulership during that time. Starting with Nerva, the Constantine one who came, he the one who came was pushing the Christianity wave, things that such, right? I got a little bit of notes on that as well. I'll bring out as well. Going to that chain, the chain represents captivity. It also represents Jake, like I mentioned, when we came to rulership in Rome, right? That key represented the control that was under the curses, that seal that was put upon them. Are we under the curses now? They was under curses, right? It says that he laid hold on the dragon, right? That old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. So these are just like title names for Esau. The devil, the Satan, that's who they are, right? Those Edomites, right? They was bound 1,000 years, right? It says, and cast him to the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him, right? So he couldn't go out to deceive people. He couldn't go out and trick people, right? He was down for those 1,000 years, right? He said, deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loose a little season. We in that, and Lord willing, we understand it, right? We're in that little season now, right? Which they were released, right? When that 1,000 years was released, when that 1,000 years was up, right? In the time of the Renaissance, it really around like 1300. I think I read in my notes. The Renaissance started around the 1300s, right? But it got big around the 1700s, right? It's like I thought I had it in my notes. I might have put it in this one. No, right. So let's see. I'm gonna go to Google off my other phone real fast. Let's see. right? So I typed in the Renaissance started around 1300. It says yes, the Renaissance widely considered to have begun in Italy, particularly Florence around. And when we understand what the word "nato" means in Italian, and you know, it means reborn, right? It means reborn, rebirth, right? Because we know that's the rebirth of the Roman Empire, right? As it even said right here, right? It says yes, the Renaissance was widely considered to have begun in Italy, particularly Florence, around the 1300, 14th century, making transition from the Middle Ages. It was a period of rebirth, right? So understanding though, it got big around like the 1700s, 1600s, 1700s. Or if I'm not mistaken, you know, it got bigger as it went as time went on. You know, but understanding we in that little season now, right? You know, I got right here in my notes. Right, you know, from the time of the Renaissance until now, that's that little season, right? So when the Renaissance come out, right, we're gonna go to Revelation 13, right? That deadly wound was healed when they was down. It was down for those 1,000 years, right? And they came out when they fell, right? You know, so you know when that's how you know the fourth beast didn't. You know, that's how you know the fourth beast still in play, because after the fourth beast, right? 2 Ezra 11, you know, I quoted 2 Ezra 11, starting around verse 38. And it says, talks about that lion came out speaking to the eagle, right? It was the Roman Empire telling them, aren't you doubt the remains of the four beasts? The four beasts is that wrong? Like El Apostle Romla is saying, that was more to it, right? Because remember, we're going to go to Revelation 13. We're going to go to Revelation 17 as well. Remember when John having the vision, he writing this when the Roman Empire is in rulership, right? But they go away and come back through America, right? But let's touch on this a little bit more, right? Because when you understand it, verses 1 through 3, and then verses 7 and 8, that's talking about the first 1,000 years, right? And then it's verses 4, 5, and 6, they're going to the 1,000 years when we in the reign of the kingdom with Yahushua, right? So, but we just touched on this 1,000 years when they fell, right? And when they came back up, right? So it says when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. So you had those. So you had from the fall, the first 1,000 years, you had the fall of Esau, the Roman Empire, to the Renaissance. Right? He said, no 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Right? Going into it again. Right? Yep. Right here when Esau goes in them caves, they in the yoke, bound the yoke in their neck, loose around the 1500, when it'll start getting big. Right? It's the first 1,000 years. Right? So understanding, right? They came out fighting stronghold. They came out doing all type of things. They came out doing what? Verse 8, and shall go out and seize the nations which are on the four quarters of the earth. Gog and Magog, which is Russia, to gather them to the battle. The number of whom is the sand. Number of whom is as the sand of the sea. Understanding that Russia's going to be the one bringing it into this place. Lord, like I say, Lord, soon we're going to Ezekiel 38, right? With how Russia and his allies are going to bring that fight. We're going to fight against this whore. Going to shoot missiles on this whore, man, and his allies, Israel, America, and Israel as well, right? You know, so understanding. The Roman Empire, it fell for those 1,000 years. That seal was put upon them, and they had that seal, so they couldn't deceive nobody, couldn't trick nobody. And then once that seal was uplifted, they went out deceiving and tricking everybody, whitewashing everything, pulling down stronghold. It got to the point that everybody started accepting it, right? So that beast never fell away. Let's stay on that, right? So it's Revelation 13, right? And we'll read verse 2. Sorry, verse 2. It says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, because a leopard is when the Greeks, right? That's when the Edomites first came in, at their first step, when they first come into power. And his feet, right, the feet of a bear. That's referring to who? The Russians, because the Russians are going to be the end of this thing, man. It said his mouth is the mouth of a lion, which refers to Great Britain, because America still gets its orders, still get all, Great Britain still run things behind the scene, right? And the dragon, which is the Roman Empire, gave him his power, because America's in that top seat, the rise of empire, and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads, and it was wounded to death. That's those 1,000 years where the Roman Empire was down, right? It was down. It was below it. You know, it was them caves. Esau that seal was upon them. The curse was upon them. But Most High brought them up, and his deadly wound was healed. Most High brought them up because they had to fulfill prophecy. He didn't put it on the Moabites. He didn't put it on the Ishmaelites. He put it on the Edomites, that they were what prophecy would be fulfilled, right? So he brought them back up so they fulfilled prophecy, and all the world went after the beast, right? You know, so now this beast is back. Now the Roman Empire is back in play. Now it's back into rulership, right? But we'll jump down right here real quick. Revelation 13:11. It says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth." This referring to America, because, right? Matter of fact, before we go into that, let's go to Revelation 17, right? And verse 8, right? It says, the beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit. That's talking about America. It shall go to perdition. Perdition means destruction, because once again, when Apostle John writing his vision, when you're on the island of Patmos, when he writing his vision, right? He writing when the Roman Empire in rule, right? But then the Roman Empire go away and it come back to America, but it wasn't time for America to come in yet. Because really, when you understand it, Rome ruled the known world at that time, but America come through in his beast. This beast system, his blessing was fulfilled, because America got everybody on this belt. America got everybody under his rule, right? It says, and shall go into perdition. It's like, and go into perdition, and they that dwell upon the earth, one whose name was not written in the book. Because you're not of the elect, you're done. Only people gonna be delivered from this place is the elect. It says, when they beheld the beast that was and is not and yet is. That's talking about America, right? It's talking about America. Right? It says, and here's the mind which hath the wisdom. These 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth, because these 7 heads, these congregations of the Edomite Empire, they're carrying this woman. They're carrying America. America, right? America is the angels showing them, breaking it down to them of what it is. Now, right here, down the Lord using the angels to break down to John what it means. He still don't understand at the time, because at the time he's talking about America, and America didn't come into play yet. It wasn't time for America coming to play yet, right? So you show them this vision so you can understand how this Roman Empire, this system is going to come back through America. This same beast is going to still come and play, but it's going to fulfill everything it's supposed to do through America, right? It says, and there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen. I got the 5 are fallen in my notes. I want to say is the Greeks, the Spanish, the French, the major, major, minor, and the one is, right? Because at the time it says, and the one is the Roman Empire, because at the time that's who was in rulership. And the other is not yet come, which is who, right? It says, that's the Roman Empire, right? Right here, right? It says and the other is not yet come, and when he cometh, he must continue short space, and that's how America was able to break away from Great Britain, right? Because when the Great Britain came, it continued short pace. They wasn't strong yet, but ultimately, as we read Revelation 13, understand that America still behind the scenes. Great Britain still got to say so on this thing. But that's how America is able to break away physically from them. Understanding that they still get their orders and marching orders. Great Britain still have a big say so in this thing, right? So the team going on, right? Because you got them, the 7 heads are who? Greece, Rome, Spain, French, Germania Major, Germania Minor, and Great Britain, right? So it says, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th. Talking about America, and is of the 7. Is of the 7. Who's that 7? Great Britain. And goes to perdition, right? So now it's going to perdition. So now that Roman Empire is back. The Roman Empire is back. It came back through America, that one who came out that bottomless pit, because America comes out of that bottomless pit. Even when you go into Daniel 7, that little horn, right? Daniel 7, out there, I want to say it's 8. Out there, it's talking about the 4th beast, and it says, I consider the horns, and behold, there came up another little horn. It's talking about America, right? So that other little horn is talking about America, because this is Rome 2.0. America is Rome 2.0, man, right? So when Rome fell back then, it wasn't a time for the kingdom to come in, because this Rome, the 4th beast was still in rule. The 4th beast was still in power. The 4th beast still in power now. It was more to the vision, which now we're seeing today, right? Habakkuk 2 and 3, right? Visions for appointed time. At the end it shall speak. So now we're speaking. Now we're understanding that. Now we're in the time of the 4th beast. But now the true destruction of the 4th beast is here. Now the true destruction of the 4th beast has come, right? So which is it, as it says right here around verse let's see, bear with me. Right here, we read verses 10 and 11. It says, and a fiery scream issued and came forth from before him. Right? Because Yahweh Shah gonna bring destruction upon this place, right? Yahweh ultimately gonna judge this place. We're gonna use Yahweh Shah to do it. He said, 1,000s and 1,000s ministered to him, talking about angels, and 10,000s times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, the books are over, because they're going to be a judgment upon this place, right? And I beheld then when the voice of the great words was the horn spake, and I beheld till the beast was slain, and his body was destroyed, and given to the burning flame. So Roman Empire didn't go out like that. Because why? The Roman Empire is here today, which is going to go out and burn in flame. This beast is going to go out and destruct. This beast is going to go out and fire, right? Which is scriptures tell you, right? What is that lake of fire? What is that Revelation? That Revelation 19. Bear with me. Let me see. Bear with me. Right, so it's talked about a couple times, right? So this is going into that lake of fire, right? It says in the Revelation 19, it says, the beast was taken with him, the false prophets, was wrought miracles before him, which had deceived them that had the mark of the beast, right? And them that worship his image. These both were cast alive into the lake of fire, burning with fire and brimstone. And what is that? That's the scourge that's going to come upon this place. The missiles is going to hit this place, going to burn it up with fire. You know, and also the chariots coming. That's the curse upon the earth. The chariots coming to burn this place up. America's not going to come back to power again. It's going to be the final. It's going to be the real destruction of the fourth beast. It's going to be the final destruction of the fourth beast, right? Because once again, when the Rome fell back then, it was healed, right, through the Renaissance, right? So then it came back in. Let's go right here. Revelation 13. When it come back, right? Revelation 13:11. I beheld another beast come up out of the earth. He had two horns like a lamb. Democrat and Republican, and he spake as a dragon, right? There's draconian ways, draconian laws. He exercises all the power of the first beast before him, which is who? The Roman Empire, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed. So America is back now. Rome 2.0, it's like Rome is back now, right? America, Rome 2.0. And now this is the vision that John seeing when that beast that wasn't is, and maybe paraphrasing. Let me quote it right. The beast that was is not yet is America, because now Rome is back. So now the true destruction of this fourth beast is here. The true destruction of the fourth beast is coming. Which, right? Let's go to we can go to Isaiah 13, right? Because remember when they said God can make out to guide them to that battle in Revelation 20:8. That's going into Armageddon. Right, Armageddon, right? Mountain of the Truths, where Joel chapter 3, where how about seeing how Shah gonna gather them up in the valley of Jehoshaphat? They're gonna fight each other, right? You're gonna have Russia, Iran, right? Matter of fact, let's read this real fast. Isaiah 13, and this is going into what? The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amoz did see. So this is the burden of Babylon, which is what? America today, which America is the rise from empire. So now the true destruction of what's going to happen to this place, here it is right here. There's, this whole chapter going into it, but I just want to go up right here, verse 17, Isaiah 13:17. It says, behold, I will stir up the Medes, talking about Russia, against them. You should not regard silver. As for gold, they should not delight in them. Because you got to think, Americans had to get everybody drinking their fornication. Remember that scarlet whore, right? Because it's costliness, the money it brings, things that said everybody looking past it. They drunk out the fornication, but now that ain't gonna matter no more, right? Verse 18, their bows shall dash the young men, talking about the missiles, to bash the young men to pieces. They shall have no pity, the fruit of the womb, their eyes shall not spare children, right? So he says, in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. How did Yahweh shall overthrow Sodom and Gomorrah? He grabbed the atoms together and it rained fire and brimstone. And Lord willing, how about I can do that when the time comes? When the true destruction of this fourth beast come. But we know that Yahweh Shai Cherry is going to come bring tear this place up. And we also know Russia and his allies are going to shoot ICBM missiles and going to shoot nuclear missiles on this place as well, right? Verse 20, it says, this shall never be inhabited, neither shall it dwell in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabians and Pence tent here, neither shall your shepherds make their fold here, because nothing going to be here. This place is going to be desolate. That's why when you go to Isaiah 14, you know how the Rome came back to Renaissance. But when this fourth beast fall, when the fourth beast truly fall, right, it ain't going. This place not coming back. Right here, right? Isaiah 14:20, it says, "Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land, slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned." I mean, they never gonna be renounced again. Nobody gonna ever speak of them again. They're gonna be done and out the way, right? Right here, Daniel 2:44, real fast, right? It says, And in the days of these kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms. It shall stand forever. So when this fourth beast truly go down, we know the kingdom of Yahweh Shah is coming up, right? So, and we know the true destruction of this fourth beast is what? Fire, brimstone, destruction, right? Fire, destruction, nuclear bomb, nuclear missiles, right? You got destroying wind, Jeremiah 51, right? What's going to come upon this place? I also go back to Daniel 7, right? Go down right here, Daniel 7 verse 17, right? It says these great beasts which are four kings which shall rise out of the earth, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever, right? So now this place is going to be broke. This place is going to be done, and the kingdom of Yahweh Shah gonna come in. But when Rome fell the first time, that wasn't it. See, Rome came back to America. So now the true destruction come upon this place. Now is when Yahweh Shah is going to come destroy this place, going to bring it down, right? Ultimately, start over, we're going to be a World War III, which we seeing now today. So now we seeing the true fall of this fourth beast, right? Which prophecy showed us once again, Habakkuk 2 and 3, man. You know, in the end it shall speak. So now we seeing the true. Now we seeing the true fall of this fourth beast. Now we seeing this truly go down, right? You know, I want to go to Ezekiel 38, right, verse 15 and 16, right? It says, and thou shalt come from thy place out of the north parts, to Mount Russia, right, and many people with thee. That's Russia and its allies, Iran, Turkey. You know, he got allies. I think he got Syria as an ally to him, right? You're gonna have NATO, the EU, because they gonna hate the whore. They gonna hate the whore, right? You know, some African countries, right? It says, upon horses and great company and a mighty army, thou shalt come up against my people Israel, as a cloud covers the land, and it shall be in the latter days, and I will bring thee against my land, that the heathen may know me when I shall be sanctified in thee, O God, before their eyes. Because Most High gonna put the spirit on Russia to do these things, right? These missiles gonna hit right where they supposed to. It says, this is the Lord Yahweh, art thou he whom I have spoken of in old time by my servants the prophets Israel. So now this vision is speaking. Now we seeing the true fall of this fourth beast, right? Revelation 13 and 2, right? We seeing the Greece like a leopard, and the feet of it like unto a bear, right? It says, I have spoken in old time by my servants the prophets of Israel, which prophesied in those days many years, that I will bring thee against them, right? So here it is right here. It says, and it shall come to pass at the same time when God shall come up against the land of Israel, that the Lord Yahweh, that my fury shall come up in thy face. So how about you know, trying to put his spirit? They're gonna shoot missiles on America and Israel, and you seeing America and Israel doing shit right now, right? So now we seeing the true fall of this fourth beast. Now we seeing the true destruction of this fourth beast, man. Now we seeing this fourth beast truly go down, right? Because he came back. His deadly wound was healed, but he came back through America. But now we seeing the true fall of it. And this time when it go down, it ain't gonna be no coming back. When the scriptures tell you, Jeremiah 51, ain't no healing this place, right? Also, what is that? Isaiah 13, right? This place ain't gonna never come back again. Isaiah 14, we just read, ain't gonna never be renowned again, right? You're gonna get rid of the nephew, all of it. And once we tie them up, once they 1,000 years are up for serving the time of captivity, we're gonna tie the Edomites up, and they're gonna be burnt away. They're gonna be the Most High gonna get rid of all the wicked, man. Right? It's gonna be kingdom rights of Yahweh Shah. So now that fourth beast is truly going down. Now we seeing the fall of that fourth beast. Now we seeing the true fall of that fourth beast, and we know once that fourth beast come down, what comes? The kingdom of Yahweh Shah. So it shows us that the fourth beast still in rulership, but the true falling of the true destruction of the fourth beast is here. You know, right? I'll read it for the sake of it, right? 2 Ezra 12, right? Can't never read scripts too many times. Right, let's see. Right here, right? Let's take Ezra 12:31. Right? It says, and the lion whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood, roaring and speaking to the eagle is the Roman Empire, and rebuking her for her unrighteousness with all the words thou hast heard, this is the anointed Hamashiach, which the highest has kept for them and for their wickedness. Remember, Revelation 1 and 7. Yahweh Shah is coming. Every eye shall see him, even the ones who pierced him. right? The Romans, Jake who gave him up, all of them. He come to bring destruction upon all of them, man. Right? It says, and for their wickedness to the end of the earth, he shall reprove them and shall upbraid them with their cruelty. So now this fourth beast is finna get his true judgment. Now this fourth beast is finna go down, right? 2 Corinthians 11, I quote it, but I'll read it real fast. Verse 39, it says, art thou it that remaineth of the fourth beast, whom I made to reign in my world, at the end of the time might come through them. So now this fourth beast is truly finna go down, right? Now we seeing the true fall of it. Now we seeing how Shai's finna come break it down fully. It's gonna be fully destroyed. And this time, it ain't no coming back up. This time, it ain't no healing this place. Remember, Isaiah 34 said the smoke shall go up forever and ever, man, right? Also, Revelation 11, chapter 11 is 12. I mean, it's like Revelation as well. Revelation chapter 11 as well, man. This place is gonna be done, and this place is gonna be done and over with. It ain't gonna be no more. Ain't gonna be no more rulerships after us. We gonna be the last rulers, man. Right? So we know this four beasts is still in rule, man. Now we seeing the true fall of it. What you see in prophecy unfold in front of our face today, man. You know? So Lord willing, right? I just want to touch on that through the Spirit. Like I say, Lord willing, through the Spirit, you know, soon the Spirit allow, we going to break down Ezekiel 38. So that being said, I hope this lesson was edifying and exalting, right? And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the Hopeful Elect, starting with the 144,000. Shalom.